Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Me? Been quite a week, hasn't it? The NFTC rather announcing that it's seeking a new CEO. Construction companies apparently queuing at the door, marked administration. And all the time that's going on, I seem to be spending 3/4 of my life on Zoom calls, attempting to nail down a few last-minute deals, brand deals for ConExpo. And I'm delighted to say that last night we confirmed we will be working with the fine folks at Reman. My relationship with Reman actually goes back more than 20 years, so I'm absolutely delighted to be working with them once again. And it comes at a very exciting time as well. The company is exhibiting under its own name at ConExpo for the first time. It's previously been there under the name of its US importer, Allied. In addition, the company is planning to launch some new smaller breakers and some new demolition attachments as well. They're also going to have a simulator on the stand, so I'm hopefully going to be reaching out to a regular member of this audience to come and help me test drive it. But you'll hear all about that right here when we finally get to Las Vegas in about 8 days' time. I have just one last brand deal call later today, and it's a really exciting one. I can't actually tell you what it's about because there's still a very distinct possibility that it won't come together. But please keep your fingers crossed, and I'll let you know just as soon as it does. Now, since there is no Saturday social show this weekend, and since my trip to Vegas is now just 8 days away, we have tried our level best to cram as much as we possibly can into today's show. So without further ado, let me roll the intro, post the question of the day, and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. As you can see from the question of the day in the chat, I'm actually hoping to use the question of the day to help settle a family argument. Dispute, should we say. So if you could help us with that, that would be greatly appreciated. It is Thursday, the 2nd of March. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, XCMG is planning to take ConExpo by force. The sound of silence, the Montabert attachments that aren't breakers. Bell showcases its Reman program, and Hyundai, Doosan, and Develon are ready for ConExpo. And so am I. We're going to get to all that in just a second. But first, let's see who among the rich and the shameless will be celebrating a birthday on this day of days. Happy birthday! And it's many happy returns to the inventor of the telephone, Alexander Graham Bell. I wonder if he ever thought that they would look like that. Probably not. Also, happy birthday to the original blonde bombshell actress Jean Harlow, to Thin Lizzy guitarist Snowy White, Brazilian football star Zico, TV physicist Brian Cox, singer Ronan Keating, and to actress Jennifer Beal. Many happy returns to them, one and all. Now, before we get started properly, here is a very quick reminder of that question of the day with which I need your help. Just going to say a very quick good morning to Steve Williamson, who has just pitched up. Steve, I may need your help in ConExpo. Remains to be seen. I'll keep you posted. But the question of the day is on scones or scones. Even that's an argument in itself. Scones or scones. Do you go jam first or do you go cream first? Please let us know in the chat. And we will get to the answers to that question of the day immediately after the end of the show. Till then. With the ConExpo show now just over a week away, things are hotting up as major manufacturers give us a final glimpse of what they hope to have on display at the Las Vegas Convention Center. We'll get to the Hyundai, Doosan, Develon side of things in just a moment, but first, here is what the third largest construction equipment manufacturer in the world has in store.
Okay, let's go.
I'd love to see them reenact that actually on the ConExpo stand. Just to let you know, XCMG is among more than a dozen. It's actually about 14 now. Actually, more than a dozen major brands we'll be working with while we're in the US. Just 8 days' time. Can't wait. So please keep watching. Let me throw up one of these, and then we'll get it back to ConExpo again. We are currently betwixt and between when it comes to all things Hyundai, Doosan and Develon. When does Doosan officially become Develon? What does it mean for the relationship between Develon, Doosan and Hyundai? Well, about 8 days from now, I'm scheduled to sit down with the head honchos at Develon to find out more and to bring some clarity to the rebranding of the Doosan line. But until then, you'll just have to make do with this. Yeah, and all things being equal, I should actually be meeting with the Develon team the day before the show officially opens. So, technology allowing, I'll be able to bring you some details of how the rebranded machines look live. I've been dying to say this, live from Las Vegas. So keep watching. We hope to bring that to you literally live from Las Vegas. The construction world suddenly seems obsessed with remanufacturing. We've recently featured both Caterpillar and Case talking about the sustainability benefits of their respective reman programs. And now ADT manufacturer Bell has thrown its hat into the reman ring. Yeah, we're not scheduled to work with Bell, but I do hope to be able to catch up with them while I'm over in Las Vegas. Always put on a good display.
Since the finance bill came into effect in April, the construction industry has seen a surge of fuel thefts. The rising cost of living has placed an additional risk of theft by employees and contractors, as well as opportunistic thieves. By using diesel dye and placing warnings of its use, you are sending a clear message that this is your fuel.
I am delighted to see that Jim Turner is in agreement with me. Jam first on a scone, whatever you choose to call it. From an engineering perspective, we'll get to that in just a second. Now, when I say the name Montabert, I think most of us immediately think of hydraulic breakers. Powerful, destructive. noisy. But there's another side to Montabert and their product range that is still powerful and still destructive, but which is far less noisy. This is the Montabert Silent Demolition line. Yeah, sadly, Montabert isn't among the list of manufacturers with which we will be working at ConExpo, but we will be working with Reman, as I mentioned earlier. I'm still going to do my very best to swing by at the Montabert stand nonetheless.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Right, that pretty much wraps up the main part of this morning's show. I'm going to roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying today and to discuss scones and scones and the formation thereof. If you can't stick around for that, then please stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. There is no Saturday social show tomorrow. So have a great day, have a great weekend, and thanks for watching. But if you do have the time and the inclination, I will see you on the other side of this for the Craic. Music maestro, please. That's much better. How are we all doing today? A bit quieter in the chat today. Always tell it's a Friday. Didn't see Ken Hatcher go through the chat. He may be here and I haven't spotted him, but good morning to you one and all. First off the mark this morning was Gary Muirhead. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, gang, he says. Yes, good morning, gang, indeed. Thank you very much indeed for your attendance and your concentration. Mick Norton's in the house as well. Morning, Mick. Thank you very much indeed for being here. I very nearly missed this morning's show. I'm sat here writing my weekly column because I've got quite a busy weekend coming up. I'm actually writing my weekly column for Monday today. Got so engrossed in writing it that I almost missed the start of my own show. One of these days it will happen. I have alarms set and everything, but I will miss the start one day. Steve Williamson, just to recap, Steve, I am due to be doing some work with Reman while I'm at ConExpo, and they have apparently they're going to have a simulator on their stand. Obviously, I could go and have a go and make myself look a bit of a tit in front of the watching Americans. But if I can get the fine folks at Reman to agree to it, I'm going to try and borrow either yourself or Ed, or quite possibly both, to drag you over to the Central Hall to have a go yourselves, and you can give me an actually meaningful bit of feedback on what you make of the simulator. I'll tell you more. I'll tell you more at Heathrow Airport in 8 days from now. Watch this space. Gary Muirhead. We are talking scones and scones, and Gary and I, as in virtually everything, I believe, apart from our loyalties to football clubs, I think we are in complete agreement on everything else. Jam first and then cream. Yum yum, he says, putting me in the mood for a scone or a scone. I don't even know how to get across scone or scone. I'm guessing Gary goes with scone. I don't know. Yes, it's a constant source of argument in this house. For some reason, I blame his upbringing. Myself and my wife are jam first because that makes perfect engineering sense. Fred is cream first. He looks a lot like the milkman. I'm going to say nothing more than that. Question of the day, whatever jar is nearest first, says Steve Williamson. Yeah, not a bad rule to live by. Jim Turner's in the house. Morning, Jim. Thank you very much indeed for being here. I hope you enjoyed the Montabert tune. It was selected very much with you in mind. Mick Norton says, jam first, or the Cornish style versus the Devonshire style, which layers cream first. Yeah, Devon. What are you thinking of, people? Listen, I'm not going to get into the science of this. I'm sure there is some science of this. But jam is stickier than cream. If you put the cream on first and then try to put the jam on top, when you try to spread the jam, you'll take the cream off. It really is as simple as that. Devon, sort your world out. Come to the party properly. And as Jim Turner says, and I'm always in agreement with Jim as well, jam then cream would probably make more sense from a spreading point of view, as the jam would adhere to the scone batter. Say adhere to the scone batter. Then a blob of cream on top will just squeeze down and spread out easily. More important is getting a quality scone in the first place. Warm scone. That's the way forward. Haven't had one for ages. Bloody diet that I've been on, and it's not. I've got to the point now where the diet doesn't seem to be making a whole heap of difference. I was hoping to be at least about a stone lighter by the time I went to ConExpo, because last time I was there, now 2020, I can tell you that in the space of 7 days, I put on 5 pounds. The American diet just does not sit well on my hips, I'm afraid. Steve Williamson said, yeah, not a problem at all. Fantastic. I look forward to doing that with you. I know you've been speaking to Fred, and I think you've got a few plans up your sleeve for a couple of challenges as well. But as I say, if we can borrow yourself or Ed, or possibly both, to go and have a good look around the Reman stand, that would be absolutely awesome. Just going to recount this very, very quickly, just to give you... there we are. Yes, definitely a fresh warm scone knock. Yeah, absolutely right. Just to give you an insight, many moons ago, I was at a ConExpo in Las Vegas. They're always in Las Vegas. I was at a ConExpo and we went out for a meal one evening. I was actually with the group at Nordberg, or Metzer as they are today, and we went out and properly had a lot to eat. You know, it was one of those buffets. Everything was fantastic, and you end up eating way more than you should. So the following morning I woke up feeling like I had food up to about there. So I deliberately skipped breakfast. Come lunchtime I was still feeling full up. So I decided, yeah, okay, I'm going for lunch, but I will just have something light. So I was in the Mirage Hotel and I ordered a turkey sandwich, which you'd have thought would be fairly light and easy. This thing arrived and it stood about that high, and 90% of that was turkey. It would have fed a family of 4 for about 3 days. I didn't even put a dent in it. So that is what I've got to look forward to when I get to Las Vegas. I should never have triggered this, should I? Plain scone or fruit scone? Personally, I'm a fruit man. I am a fruit man. I do like me a raisin or a sultana or a currant. Fred is strictly a non-currant person. He doesn't like anything fruit or vegetable based to pass his lips, but that's where I am. Now I wish I'd thought of that way of describing it. It's scone as in cone for me, not scone as in gone. Yeah, that's okay. Well, I err towards the scone, but I'm probably wrong. See, now that's where we do part company. Not a fan of that at all. Not a fan of that at all. I'm not, bizarrely, and I do have very strange taste in these things. I love cheese, but I don't like cheese flavoured things. I love bananas, but I don't like banana flavoured things. and I love coffee, but I don't like coffee flavoured things. So coffee flavoured sweets, an abomination. Banana flavoured sweets, an abomination. But I like both coffee and banana. Cheese scone in a bowl of soup. How you Scots live, eh? I don't know. You've got haggis on your doorstep, roaming the countryside, just ready to be slaughtered and served up hot, and you're eating cheese scones. What on earth are you people thinking of? This, however, is, of course, from a man who eats spicy banana pizza. I should expect nothing else from him. Yes, Gary, a warm cheese scone. See, this is where you find yourself diverging from the audience. I thought we were all friends, and then you start mentioning cheese scones with butter. Now, the butter bit I can get on board with. There was a time when I was a kid where I used to avoid butter like the plague, and if somebody really was desperately trying to make me feel sick, just take a piece of butter and bite it. Used to make me feel physically sick. Now when I have a slice of toast or a muffin or something like that, slice the butter and make sure it's salty. As you can tell, I'm not taking this diet particularly seriously at all. So yeah, there we are. Right, people, I'm going to let you go and have a good weekend. I have much to do today. I've got one more brand deal call with a very major manufacturer. I'll be telling you more about that on Monday when hopefully we'll have the deal done. My dad has butter on fruitcake. Never done butter on fruitcake, but I can tell you cheese with fruitcake. I'm a fan of that. And did they? Scones originated from Scotland, is that correct? Butter on fruitcake, about 1/4 inch thick. Marmite, yes or no? No. No, 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 no. What even is that? No, absolutely not. Wife loves it. Can't even bear to look at it personally. And bearing in mind, there's a lot of crap in the world that I will eat. That isn't one of them. Cheese and fruitcake, bloody weirdo. Well, now you say that. You say that. I love honey on cheese, particularly things like Stilton blue cheese with honey is a fine thing. About 10 years ago, I was in Barcelona, which is, as I've probably mentioned countless times on this show, it is my favourite city in the entire world. I was in Barcelona, sat by the sea. It's actually winter, so it was quite cold. Sat by the sea, all wrapped up, and we'd ordered pizza. And the pizza arrived, and I took one bite and just decided this was... Now, bearing in mind, pizza is Italian. I was in Spain. I understand all that. But I took one bite and I decided this was the best pizza in the entire world. Why? Turns out when I called the waiter over, I said, this tastes fantastic. What is this? Oh, we put honey on it. Honey on pizza. Believe me, you haven't lived. No Marmite. Now, I can't tell whether that's Jim saying he doesn't like Marmite or no, the fact that I don't like Marmite has upset him. But no, I'm definitely a no. They're called bannocks in Scotland. Are they? Are they? Are they really? It's there's something about that word that's just made me think you have to feel sorry for him. He just took a sharp kick to the bannocks. Wow. See, bannocks is pancakes, not scones. Well, you live and learn. Honey in my tea, honey in stir fry and porridge. Stir fry? How did that ever become a thing? Having said that, I've just talked about honey on pizza. I don't know. Potato scone, yes please. Yeah, now that I can get on board with. Though. You canny Scots do a damn fine job with that. I'm just going to say good morning to Dan Cullen who's just joined us. Sorry, late to the show. Bloody hectic weeks. I'm doing the job of 4 operators here. I don't think you're alone in that, Dan. Judging by there was a time, if you remember, you guys are all regulars. You remember that about a month and a half ago, we reported on the fact that there'd been a report that suggested that there would be up to 6,000 construction companies going into administration over the coming 12 months. And for a moment, I actually considered adding a new section to this show. I'll come back to Mick Norton in a minute. I was actually considering doing a like an administration watch or a liquidation watch or something like that to keep people abreast of what companies had actually folded under the pressure of all that's going on in the world at the moment. And I decided against it. I just decided this show is generally a bit too upbeat for that. And maybe I didn't really want to dwell on the bad news that's circulating in the industry. I'm glad I took that decision, because when you look at they are basically queuing at the door of the liquidators at the moment. It seems like every passing day. I get the Construction Inquirer email newsletter every single morning. And every single morning, I think for the last 2 weeks, the lead story has been another company going into administration. It's bloody hard out there. Now, we've mentioned honey on pizza, cheese on fruitcake. Mick Norton says, that's enough of scones. I'm off for my bacon, butty and marmalade. You people must have the constitution of an ox. That's all I can say. Having said that, when Christmas rolls around, Christmas ham with marmalade on it, that makes sense. Maybe Mick is onto something. Funnily enough, I was in a shop the other day and they are selling harissa ketchup. I do love me a bit of harissa. Whether I'd want that on a bacon butty, not entirely sure. Steve Williamson says, WTF? Yes, bacon with marmalade. Just so you know, if any of you ever invite me to dinner or to tea or anything like that, I'm going to decline, because you all scare me. Spicy banana pizza and bacon with marmalade. Mind you, when you see some of the stuff that I'm planning to eat while I'm in the States, if I tell you I've got a list of manufacturers that I need to see that's about that long. I've got a list of restaurants that I want to visit. It's about that long. We cooked our ham and Coca-Cola. We do that a lot. Yeah, we do that a lot down here in the soft south. It is very good. It's very good. Never entirely sure quite what it achieves. It tastes nice, but I've never actually had a hint of Coca-Cola from it. I see now, bearing in mind I'm talking to Gary about this, I think the next opportunity that arises, we're going to give ham cooked in root beer a go. It might ruin the ham, but man alive, that gravy is going to be the business, isn't it? I'm going to go and suggest that to the wife in a second. Right, so people, go and have a good day. I'll repeat one final time. There is no Saturday social show tomorrow. I will be back bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for Monday morning, which will be the countdown, the official countdown to ConExpo. And so it goes on. Salt on porridge or sugar? Sugar. Ideally, honey, maple syrup or sugar, but definitely not salt. Same with popcorn. Salt has no place on popcorn. Come at me if you will. So yes, we've got 5 more shows to do next week, which will actually take us to show number 480. So 480, and then we take a brief sabbatical while we're over in the States. My hope is that we'll probably get 3 shows out from Las Vegas, and then we'll pick up where we left off. So we will be at about 483 by the time I get back to work proper, which means we've probably got, what have we got? 483, 17 days. So 2 and a tiny bit weeks, and then we will be at the magic 500. At which point, probably that orange stuff that you see around me will have changed. Enjoy your weekend, gang, and have a good one, people. Yeah, absolutely. You too, Gary. So yes, rebranding for the 500th show, and we are still working on our new weekly show as well, which I think we've kind of settled on the name Construction Equipment News, and that will start to be broadcast early April, and it will be going out at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. We already hog your mornings. We're going to hog your afternoons as well, but only once a week, and then you will get to escape. So people, go have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't eat anything weird. Marmalade and bacon, keep them separate. Keep your fruitcake and your cheese separate as well. Or just do whatever you please if it suits. A little what you fancy does you good. So people, it's been a pleasure. It's been a blast as always. I'll see you again on Monday morning, hopefully with more of whatever the hell this was. All the best.